Here is an SMC fan, or the Shell Manufacturing Company. This is a 12-inch Oscillations model, and the model number is TR-12 from 2000. So this fan is now 23 years old. And there's a bit of a discrepancy here. That says March 2000 and that says 10 of 1999, which is several months apart. But it's from that era, and this was found locally, so chances are this was sold in the summer of 2000. It's crazy to think that these fans are now getting to be 20 to 25 years old. It's wild. I picked this up at the Goodwill, which is an unusual find because it's very seldom that the Goodwills or any thrift store around here really has older fans. They're mostly all just junk. But every now and again something good shows up, and that was this last week. So now I have the TR-16, which is the 16-inch model of this, and I have the TR-12, which is this one. The TR-16 is courtesy of the letter H, and this one is courtesy of me, because I found it. Stupid. Anyways, so this is one that I was looking for because this was a fan that I remember in school. I guess it would have been, yeah, it would have been middle school still. There was a math class that had one of these. And it was really kind of stupid because the instructor brought the fan in and had it on a table in the front of the classroom. And it was facing us, the students, so she wasn't really feeling the draft from it. But us, the students, weren't really feeling the draft either because the classrooms is huge. They're like, I don't know, 25, 30 feet boxes. They're huge. And something like this isn't going to do a daggone thing in a room that size. So it was there, and it was always running, but it served no purpose. I paid all of 5 beans for this. It's a pretty good deal. And I haven't spent the time to try to remove that sticker yet. I might just do it during the cleaning process because these stickers that they switched to recently are quite a pain in the neck. They're very difficult to get off, and they leave a sticky residue, which is very annoying. I don't know what was wrong with the other stickers. I guess these have a barcode on there now. I have never been able to take barcodes seriously ever since I had a conversation with somebody and they told me that there's a group of people who think barcodes are evil and won't allow anything in their house with a barcode. Anyway, so there's a barcode on there. Oh gosh. So I don't know, I guess they must have a different inventory system or something now that requires something to be scanned in. Yeah, I don't know why the stickers have got to be so difficult to take off. I mean, this is a thrift store selling things for $5 and $10. I really can't imagine that there's a big problem with people taking the stickers off and putting it on something else and then taking it to the register and cheating the store. I just find that very hard to believe, but whatever. The cord is like an atrocity. It's disgusting. It is. it's filthy. It's kind of like oily and sticky. It, I guess, has what I would imagine is probably the original tie wrap on there. And the prong is all bent up, and the cord is just awful. And then the fan itself is pretty much fine. And it's got, I mean, what looks like maybe a season's worth of dust on there. Maybe 2 seasons. It's generally quite clean. The dust inside the motor is pretty consistent with the dust on the blades. So I tend to think that this is a pretty low hours unit. It's in pretty decent cosmetic condition. There's no rust on the guard. The paint's in really good shape still. The base is pretty dirty, but I suspect it would clean up just fine. The number 3 button was sticking up higher. Now it's not. I don't know why it was like that, but the buttons seem to be copacetic. Well, let's go ahead and plug in this dirty old cord. I cannot fathom what on earth happened to this cord, or where it was used that would cause it to end up like this while the fan is still perfectly fine. Alright, we're testing at 119.9 volts. Yeah, we just hit 120 on the nose right there. Let's go over to amps. I think this said 0.35. It's pretty standard rating for these things. Yep, 0.35 at 120 volts. It's missing all but one of the feet. And they're just kind of like hard plastic anyways. Maybe it was rubber at some point and just deteriorated. A ring of hot glue on there will fix the balance issue, although it's not too bad. Alright, let's start it up on the 1. I'll turn it so that the camera doesn't pick up all the wind noise as if you were speaking into a telephone. Is the bearings locked? Huh. The bearings are pretty stiff on this one. That's interesting. I don't want to run it too much then, because these are steel bearing fans, and the steel bearings, when they run out of oil, they act up pretty good. So I don't want to use it much at all like this. Yeah, it don't sound too good as far as the bearings are concerned. That's 0.29 amps, 36 watts with a power factor of 1, 0.99 or 1 is teetering in between the two. Let's go to number 2. That awful sound that disappeared. And it's not throwing too much air because of all that dust. You can hear the restriction in the blade tips and on the guard because all that thick dust accumulation on the blade, on the leading edge of the blade, that really cuts down performance drastically. That's a pretty reasonable balance. Okay, the 3, which is the highest speed. That seemed to be a pretty big increase from medium. And it's moving a decent amount of air now, but it's nowhere near as much as it should be. But it's whipping around pretty good. These were powerful fans. You know, for products of the late 90s and early 2000s, these were really good fans. Blade pitch is pretty steep. It's hard to really see it here. But the blade pitch is good. This has got that stupid ring on there to keep the guard together instead of the clips. I hate those. They're a pain in the neck to work with. It's drawing 0.35 amps, 41 to watch, the power factor of 0.99. Alright, oscillation time. That seems to be working properly. And of course, if it works on high, it's going to work on medium and low. Well, I suppose not intrinsically. I guess if the bearings is really locked up, you know, or something was locked up in the oscillation, maybe it wouldn't work on medium or low, but usually if the oscillations works on high, it'll work on all the other speeds, so we'll check it anyways. Yeah, medium and low are getting really bogged down from the bearing situation. It's running much slower than it should be. Yeah, that's it. I don't want to do any more testing here. So it is fully functional, but the bearings definitely need some help. So we'll have to open those bearings up and give them a good cleaning and relubrication. And then after that it should be good to go.